Hi, I'm Gavin Glicksman, you're watching Sun Boxing. Joining me today, Spencer Oliver. Spencer, big fight Saturday night, Carl Froch, Mikkel Kessler.
Yeah.
How'd you see it going?
Well, it's a tough fight, isn't it? I think you've got two warriors there, both with a lot of pride and a lot on the line. You know, where does the loser go from here? I think that, you know, the winner goes on and maybe gets a return with Andre Ward, but for the loser, there's really nowhere to go. So I know I've been with both fighters all week. I know what it means to them both. So, you know, I'm going to lean towards Carl Froch. I just think, you know, current form, with it being in England, I think that you've got to lean towards Froch to do it. I mean, this guy is so determined. It's unbelievable.
How much will that home advantage make a difference? 20,000 fans at packed out O2.
Well, I think it's going to make a massive difference. You know, last time he boxed, he went over to Denmark, there was a hostile crowd. He had all the problems with the ash cloud and stuff. So there was a lot of problems before that fight. Yes, it was very close. I thought that he just lost the contest, but having home advantage in the O2 with 20,000 Brits screaming you on has got to help.
We've mentioned Andre Ward. He's given Carl the nod to win this one.
Yeah.
Can Carl then go on and beat Andre Ward?
It's a totally different style again, and yeah, I think anything's possible at the moment. Cole's on such a high, he's on such a buzz since beating Butte. You know, last time out against Youssef Mack, he looked sensational. So I think at the ripe old age of 35, he seems to be coming in the best form of his career. So yeah, I think it's possible. I think that if he gets the home advantage against Andre Ward, and it happens in England, yeah, I fancy he could do it. But first of all, he's got to obviously deal with Mikkel Kessler, which is no easy task.
Why do you think it is that suddenly Carl has really found his footing? He was always a great fighter, but now he's getting that worldwide exposure. He's really just getting the results as well.
Right, well, you know what it is? I don't think he was getting the recognition. That was the problem. I think that he was having all these hard fights. Jermaine Taylor, he was going abroad, he was boxing abroad, and never really getting the recognition. No one was really hearing about him. Now he's got a little bit of that. It seems to be giving him even more drive. I think he wants to cement his name in the top fighters of the world, and he's looking, you know, to complete his legacy, and by doing that he's going to have to beat the likes of Mikkel Kessler. But yeah, I think that that's the reason why he's on so much form is purely because he's now getting the recognition that he deserves.
Just looking at the undercard, we've got Tony Bellew fighting, we've got George Groves as well. What are you most looking forward to? I'm
looking forward to the Bellew rematch, definitely. You know, Shilemba was ill last time out. He had a bad flu, and that is true because people that were close to him were in the dressing room and he was struggling. Tony Bellew opted for that safety first options, didn't work for him. He needs to go out there. So there's a lot riding on that fight. That really is a 50-50 fight, and it's a final eliminator. So that's the fight that I'm really looking forward to. And also George Groves, you know, can he prove that he is world class? Boxing Gonzalez, who's a known big puncher. Another interesting fight. This is the great thing about this bill. You've got 3 fights there that we've mentioned that are all 50-50 fights. You know, you could have 3 British winners or we could have 3 British losers. So it's making it so interesting. That's the beauty of boxing.
Just finally, there's been a lot mentioned about George Groves sparring with Mikkel Kessler. Yeah. He's been accused of being a spy in the camp and then also portraying Carl. What's your take on that?
Listen, I think that he's been offered world-class sparring. He's accepted it. Any good fighter would do that. Mikkel Kessler was one of the pound-for-pound best super middleweights in the world. Of course you're going to accept that job. But then Adams obviously thought, well, there's a little angle here, we can go with it. And George Groves, obviously a possible opponent down the line for Carl Froch. So they've just made a big thing out of nothing, really. I think that it's more a case of George Groves was offered some good sparring, accepted it. Adam Booth saw a little route to maybe mix something up to try and get Groves' name up there higher.